Hello Sagittarius, my name is Paul and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask that you connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know, okay? I mean that. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Prince of Cups. This is someone who is trying to live authentically, wants to be who they are, wants to be able to express themselves without any restrictions, without any inhibitions, with nothing getting in the way, right? Let's see what's going on here. I wonder if there's some sort of a creative block. Yeah, something's blocking you from being your authentic self, right? Oh, these are these are some challenges. Look at that. Look at this. We're beset on all sides by danger. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, see, this is the we have the challenges, we have the victories, right? This is perfect. This is how tarot is supposed to work. Tarot is supposed to show you your challenges, your blockages, where we need to put our efforts, and then what the result of those efforts could be. If you take the advice, how will it work out? Well, that's pretty perfect. I like that. This is kind of a different style here. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. We'll set it down over here. We'll put Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top of that card. Now, we're not looking at that card until the very end, so it's going to stay right there. I don't care what the lizard tells you. We're going to see if it'll tie everything together. Right? Give us the confirmation we need at the end. But if at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to put your prediction in the comment section of the video. Trying to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, if we can tap into spirit, tap into source, and start discerning this mystery card together as a group exercise. Okay? But first, let's get into these energies. Now, this is a kind of a bonus reading for Sagittarius for the rest of the month of October. There's not too many days in October left, so I feel like this is the work that we should be focusing on for the next few weeks, okay? And I notice right away that we don't have any major arcana cards. So when we are completely devoid of major arcana, we have to do an Jing card. And I want to do this right away to put a bit of a tone, a feeling tone on the reading. Okay? I feel like there are challenges, there are blockages, and I see that we are resolving those blockages, but let's find out how. Let's get some confirmation that this is what we're doing and how we are doing that. 39, limping, right? Limping. Fruitful in the west and south, not fruitful in the east and north. Fruitful to see great people, constancy, good fortune. Let's see, what is the text? Take a step back from the struggle and connect with people more than ideals. Seeking helpful people keeps you traveling toward your long-term vision, despite the obstacles and course corrections. Someone with experience and wisdom might reorient you, or you may be guided by an inner vision or visitation. Where can you find help? How could you see the obstacles differently? Can you imagine going a different way? Well, we have all of those questions are being answered here. So first, the struggle is your long-term vision, right? Your authentic self, the appropriate expression of who you are in your life, right? Which is kind of represented by this Six of Cups at the end, okay? We have the obstacles. We have seeing the obstacles differently. Okay, and that's important here when we talk about this Seven of Cups and this Eight of Swords. The Seven of Cups is literally about seeing things differently, right? Because in the recent past, it could be that we were engaged in a lot of activities, a lot of ideas, a lot of feelings that we're now beginning to recognize are not what they seemed, right? We're seeing them differently. We could have been really stuck in this swamp, in this quicksand. We may have saw it as a paradise, okay? So this is very much about seeing something that we were stuck in, something that was maybe still a little bit, is holding us back a bit, right? That is, how can we see the obstacle differently? And what about this? Can you imagine going a different way? Well, it's the Two of Swords. This is all about the different way. It's a crossroads, right? This is a crossroads that we can't intellectualize, though, right? This says, can you imagine going a different way? Not, can you think about going a different way, right? It's using a different function, not the thinking function. It wants you to imagine a different path. Imagine, image in your mind. Use your imagination. And that is exactly what this Five of Swords is all about. Five of Swords, top of the path of the dove. This is self-defeating mental energy. This is negative self-talk, right? This is an inner monologue that is like, you can't, you shouldn't, why are you doing this? It's never going to work. All of the negative things that we tell ourselves. What we need to do with this card is put Spirit back on top. Let Spirit take the wheel. This is positive affirmations now. We need to flip it around. But it's not just positive affirmations. It needs to have that moon, that lunar influence that we see in this card, which is the intuitive function, the imagination, the more psychic kind of thing, right? The visualization. Not just thinking about it, visualizing it. And not just visually, but, you know, with some sort of, with a more immersion, right? Taste it, hear it, touch it. See it, yeah, but involve all of your senses, right? That's really the key to manifestation. It's not just positive affirmations. It's not just words. It's not just hearing it. It's seeing it, feeling it, tasting it, touching it, smelling it, being in it, right? Activate all of your senses. That's the key to this, where we say positive affirmations, but it's so much more than that, okay? And so I think that is really seeing the obstacles differently. Now, it feels to me like you've kind of been dwelling on something. We've got this Eight of Swords right here in the middle that's kind of blocking you from living your most authentic self, living your best life, becoming the best version of yourself, etc., however you want to define it. Okay. Maybe we've been kind of stuck here in this swamp, in this quicksand. Okay. I feel like we've been overthinking it. So the first thing really is to try to get out of our mind and use this more intuitive, psychic, imaginative, this more lunar function instead of just thinking ourselves in circles. We think ourselves in so many circles, we just end up tangled, right? And now I don't know if that, where exactly we are in this quicksand. It could be both of these are together, because underneath with the Seven of Pentacles, this was kind of like a failure to launch, right? This is kind of this is some plans that didn't quite work out. This is a lot of Saturn energy. This is probably a lot of effort that went into something. It didn't really get off the ground, okay? This doesn't mean you should quit, right? But I think this, plus maybe the feeling like we made some mistakes, that this is kind of partly our responsibility. I don't know what exactly happened. But these two together, the facts of the situation, the facts didn't quite play out the way you wanted them to, and then how that makes us feel. These two together are enough to really get us trapped in this overthinking, this self-defeating, self-sabotaging, this pessimism, this over-analysis, right? That is preventing action. These three cards especially together, there's no action here. There's no forward movement, okay? This is our obstacle, right? And some of the ways that we can overcome this obstacle is by the positive affirmation / visualization. And what are we visualizing? Well, a different outcome, right? We are trying to clear a creative blockage. And the first way to do that is to start this kind of meditation, this visualization. Start really seriously immersing ourselves in the potential outcome, in the outcome that we really want. Okay? And again, this is the Two of Swords. It says don't over-intellectualize it. I'm not saying let's not think about it. Let's visualize it. Let's envision it so that we can manifest it. Okay? We need the lunar function of this card here. And that's going to lead us, I feel, to this Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is really a lot. It's not just a kind of an enlightenment, an awakening, a spiritual activation, crown chakra activation. This is basically a lot of really good ideas, a lot of new creative plans and ideas, and it's just like a flood of clarity. It's kind of like by doing this work over here, you're able to really unleash this authentic self. And now this authentic self just has like an endless flow of plans and ideas and thoughts and innovations, right? It's a lot of creative projects are kind of are being seeded right now. Okay, really opening up the ways for creativity. And this one here, this is what the I Ching said. You know, maybe there's some someone with experience and wisdom might reorient you, or you may be guided by an inner vision or visitation. And this literally could be either one. This is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands has the wisdom and experience within it that is guiding action because it's water of fire, right? So this could literally be someone with experience and wisdom within them that is guiding your creative vision and your action externally, right? Water and fire. This could be part of you too, because we have the fire aspect, which is that kind of vision, right? Which is kind of what we were talking about over here, the inner vision. But I wonder if this might be both of those aspects, because I feel like this could be a collaboration. Here we have the air of water in this card, and here we have the water of fire. So we kind of have this connection with the air here, and the water, and the water, and the fire, right? So it could be a collaboration. It could be you and someone who is not the opposite of you, right? But the complement, right? Complementary energy to yours. Someone that has perhaps a similar creative vision, but their methods might be different. Their approach, their perspective, their experience certainly is different, right? Because they're different. So we have water and fire here, but there's a connection here between the two of you. So this could be opening yourself up to a collaboration with someone. Yeah. And that may be something that you're resisting a little bit. But I think through your internal work, this kind of visualization, affirmation, meditation kind of thing that we're talking about, that we're going to get a different perspective. And maybe we're going to put some of our disbelief and some of our doubt on hold. This is the Four of Swords. It's in the position of what we don't want. right? So first, we're going to take the mental turmoil and stress that we were talking about up here, the doubt, the negative internal monologue, right, the pessimism, and we're stabilizing this. We're going from 5 to 4, okay? The 4 is also kind of a card. It's kind of very much about collaboration. It's Jupiter in Libra, right? So this is kind of putting 4 heads together, so to speak. Is this expansion of our network rather than the restriction of it, right? We're expanding our network, our collaboration, our associations, right? With this Libra energy, we're expanding this sense of balance, this sense of interconnectedness. Yeah. So it might not be collaborating, might not be one particular person, right? We don't have to maybe narrow it down and find that one person that's hiding somewhere that we're supposed to collaborate with. It could be a general openness to collaborating wherever the opportunity arises, in one or many instances. Yeah. Because we're no longer in this kind of swamp, this restricted, fenced-in kind of energy here where we're just kind of, things didn't work out and it sucks and I'm miserable and I'm not doing anything about it, right? So whatever we're dwelling on, it's time to take action. And I think that action is part of this visualization stuff that you need to do. But then also thinking externally, right? Collaborating with others, reaching out, making connections, right? Having these ideas come from this mental, emotional, intuitive work that we saw in the path of the dove, right? But then you've got to do something with these. You've got to reach out to others. You've got to bring your ideas to the world, to other people, to make connections, to network, to make these kind of collaborations, right? And the final card is the 6 of Cups. This is exactly what we want. This is, on the one hand, it is collaboration. It is harmony. Your kind of creative abundance, your soul, internally, who you are, is connecting with other souls, with other creative energies, with other love energies. This is a 3 of Cups plus a 3 of Cups, and the 3s are all about understanding the process of creation. So you understand what's going to happen when you take your 3 of Cups, right? Your creative energy, your love, your will, your vision, your authentic self, and when you connect it with other authentic selves, then you create this magical, harmonious 6 of Cups. Okay, and this is success. This is, for one, this is you taking the 7 of Cups, this wallowing in the misery of it, this quicksand, this swamp. We're getting out of that. We're getting to this stability, this radiance, this real beauty of things, right? Just like on the mental plane, we're going from a 5 to a 4. On the kind of emotional, intuitive plane, we're going from a 7 to a 6, right? So we have our head and our heart kind of achieving this balance. We're overcoming the difficulties both emotionally and kind of interpersonally / intellectually, right? And I think really it is important for us to seek out that in others that we need in order to complete the puzzle, right? It's not that other people have something that you're missing. That's not quite what it is. It's that other people have certain skills, other people have different perspectives that we might need to actualize our ideas. It's about blending, about meshing with people. It's not that you're incomplete and somebody else needs to fill in that missing piece. That's not what it is. You know, that it's more of the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Each component is complete, but you put them all together, you get something magical and spectacular, right? And I think you're opening yourself up to that. And I think just like the I Ching says that we need to reconnect with people. We need to collaborate. We need to understand, that, what does it say? Let's see. Seeing helpful people keeps you traveling toward your long-term vision despite the obstacles and course corrections. Right? This is important. This is really important. Now, because we had all of these kind of icky swords cards, like the, mainly the 5 and the 8, I want to do a botanical inspiration card as well. We've got a little bit of time. We can do this. We'll do 1 or 2. Anytime we get a 5 or an 8 of swords, we'll do a botanical inspiration card. It's one of our unwritten rules here on this channel. And we've got the white rose, new start and wisdom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Well, that's kind of where we started, right? Authentic self. Finding a way to properly express our authentic self. Well, in order to do that, I guess you have to know who you are. If you're going to express yourself, you have to know yourself. You have to know what you're expressing, right? So I think that this is really, it's important for us to have this obstacle, because then we get to do the work of overcoming it. And that leads us to a very deeper knowledge of ourself, like that ace, that enlightenment, that crown chakra activation, So you're coming to a deeper understanding of yourself, your own essential truth, and that is what we're going to be expressing out in the world, in our relationships, in our creativity, in our business, in our financial life, in our domestic life, like whatever we're talking, whatever realm this is all taking place in. You have to know yourself, you have to know your truth, so that you know what you're trying to get out there into the world. Let's select our mystery card. Well, no, we already selected the mystery card. Let's reveal the mystery card. Okay, so I can try to straighten these out a little bit. Let's just try to connect with these images. Let's think about everything. Let's feel everything. Let's try to intuit this card. I'll just spread these out so we can kind of get all the images here. I want to see if we can discern this card together. If we can tap into spirit, tap into source. I'll leave the camera like this for a minute. I'll take a sip of my water here, and I'll try to think of what that card could be. I keep saying think of, but it's not a thought process, right? It is a process of perception, but it's intuitive perception. Well, gosh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting here. I'm kind of getting a Wheel of Fortune. I'm seeing a round, maybe it's an Ace of Discs, but I'm getting a round kind of image. Let's go ahead and reveal it. I don't know. I can't pinpoint anything. Maybe a Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, maybe a Wheel of Fortune. No. It was a Major Arcana card, though. It is the Magician. And this is interesting. This is even better than the Wheel of Fortune. The Magician now, this is someone who knows themselves, so they're able to create their reality. This is someone who is living their authentic self, expressing their authentic self. They know themselves and they are creating that reality, right? But something else about this card that we don't talk about very often is the need for collaboration. Everyone sees the magician. They think one magician, one performer on stage doing their show, manifesting their reality. But what we don't always acknowledge are all the people behind the scenes, right? Just because there's one person that's out there on stage, that's not really the most important person. Maybe that's just the person we all see. But there are hundreds or thousands of people behind the scenes that all have to collaborate together to make this performance possible. Think of anything. Think of filming a movie. Think of music. Think of, anything, a stage performance. Right? Think of literally anything. Think of just a simple card. Right? I have the visible object in front of me, but what you can feel through this image is the effort of everybody that not only designed the image, but picked the particular pigments and colors, picked the card, the shape, the size of the card, who actually did the printing, the cutting of the cards, all the machines that went into those processes, who built the machines, who designed the machines, but then who put them together, right? So there are so many other minds behind this, just this simple little flimsy cardboard paper card. How much more in our own lives? When you're trying to live your most authentic life and create your reality, there is by default, undeniably, a whole network of intelligences, minds, energies that are going into that. Right? It's truly the perception, the intuitive perception, the feeling that everything is connected. That you could trace a web from just this particular little paper card I'm holding in my hand. You can trace a web from this to everybody else in the world, somehow. Every other living thing in the universe is connected in this card. Now, this is just the thing that's popping out to me to look at, but I could take anything else, even this little Frankenstein's monster duck, and I can trace a web from that to everything else, including this card, including every single animate or inanimate object, entity, spirit, energy, force, mind, right? So it's very interesting. There's this idea of collaboration that I keep feeling with you, especially taking, taking these two, which seem opposite, right? Fire, water. But we can connect them with the two here. We can connect them even between the Six of Cups. We can connect even with this kind of shared purpose, shared truth. And everything is connected. And it's such an amazing feeling. Maybe that's part of this visualization, part of this kind of meditative exercise that the cards seem to be suggesting to you, to try to feel that interconnectedness. Maybe as a mental exercise, take something, anything, and see how far out you can expand the connections. As an exercise of your mind, as an exercise of your magic. So this, again, in a very simple way, this card represents you expressing your authentic self and creating your authentic reality, right? Creating the success that is you. That is what you want. Creating a life that is an expression of your truest self as you know it. Okay. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. New readings for Sagittarius are Wednesday and Sunday. It was an extra bonus reading for October for you. Okay, but your regular reading Wednesday, Sunday. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. It really helps out the algorithm. What else? I think that's it. I want to thank you very much for being here. I love you, and I hope that you will come back and see me again very, very soon.